Hello, welcome to Someday Farm. I'm Stephen Watson here with today's Tàijíquán Tip. Today's tip is directed towards the instructor of really anything, but we're talking about Tàijíquán here. But it's always in relationship to a student. So if you're a student, you can take a healthful lesson from this as well. And we often have this consideration that the student should surpass the teacher, and then the challenges inherent in that, often ego-related challenges or discipline challenges. Uh, and so people kind of try and work through how do we make that happen, and how do we support that process, and everybody kind of, oh, I like the idea that the student surpassing the teacher. Fair enough. So the metaphor that I have in mind is like you're in your vehicle on the highway, and your student is in the vehicle, their vehicle on the highway, and you're showing them the way, and eventually they pass you and head down the highway ahead of you. And everybody says, well, that's the way it ought to be. That's wonderful. How do we help it happen? And why doesn't it happen often enough? And so forth. Okay, so all fine. But what I think that gets missed in this, what in this kind of reflexive valuing of that proposition, is that if we could say that it's objectively appropriate that the student takes an exit and goes off in another direction, maybe arriving at the same place, maybe not, right? Maybe it's a different route to the same place, maybe it's just a different destination. We can't say that that student has passed the teacher or surpassed the teacher. They've gone somewhere else. We could perhaps say they've passed the teacher in some discrete measure of skills, but that's not really a description of the student passing the teacher. It's a description of the student finding their own path, their own journey, their own destination. And as a teacher, I think it's important not simply just to reflexively value this, help the student pass you, which sounds great and it's hard to do, and that's fine. But that might not be the best place for the student to be going. So, how do you help them find their path, even if it's different than yours? And I might argue that it's necessarily different than yours to some extent. And if you're the student, recognizing this too, your job is not just simply to arrive where your teacher has gotten and then go beyond it. Your path is very likely different, and maybe we could say ought to be different. So don't just blindly follow the teacher and then pass them and think that you've done it, because that hasn't done it for yourself. Thank you.